Hello and welcome back to my channel, Stitch It with Rachel. My name is Rachel and this is Knitting Podcast episode 6, I think. I forgot to check before I started filming. It's been a hot minute since I've seen you guys. I have not done a podcast since before Christmas, and it is now February 19th. So it's been like 2 months. Life got kind of crazy with the holidays, and then school started up again. I'm in my senior semester of my diagnostic radiology program, and I picked up essentially like a minor in mammography. It's like an extra certification, not an official minor, but like for all intents and purposes. So life's been a little chaotic. I haven't really had the time to film, or if I had the time, I didn't have the energy. So I'm excited to see you guys again and talk about my knitting. I've got lots of stuff you've never seen before because I had some cast on itis in the new year. I've got 4 FOs that weren't even whips last time. So let's just jump right into it. So grab yourself a beverage, cozy snack, a project to work on, whatever, and let's do it. So starting off, I have the first finished object I don't have because it was a gift. And it was a pair of felted mittens. It was the first time I felted mittens, and it was the Dumfries mitten pattern on Ravelry. I have a link to it down below. And it's a free pattern. It worked up so quickly. I knit the pair of mittens in 2 days. You could easily knit it in one if you had the time to just sit in it all day. Yeah, worked up super fast. I did it with Cascade 220, and they knit up. They were beautiful. They felted beautifully. Like chucked them in the wash per some instructions, and they came out obsessed. Loved it. So after that, I wanted to knit another pair of mittens because if you remember the beautiful red and white Nordic snowflake Selbu mittens I made my mom for Christmas, they didn't fit her hands. So, I mean, they fit mine just fine. I didn't realize that hers were actually like that much like longer and bigger than mine. So like they kind of fit, but like her fingers were really like poking at the top and all that. And so I was going to knit her a pair of mittens based off of the Dumfries pattern kind of because I wanted to do a felted pair so they'd be a little bit warmer. And so I made my own chart. I kind of increased numbers a little to make it a little bit wider, a little bit taller. And we got these guys. Honestly, really pleased. I think the trees turned out super cute. Whatever these little spider things are that are supposed to be snowflakes, not so much. Wish I'd kind of done something else, but like not bad for my first self-drafted pattern and the second, third pair of mittens I would ever knit. So, and I did a thumb increasing, so it just came out at the side instead of like the front, kind of like this, like a lot of patterns have. Um, for a lot of people, that's just not very comfortable. Like you get like pulling in the stitches here. Here, let me put them on for you. So these are a little bit big for me, but they're super warm, super cozy. The felted is amazing. Like I will be making more felted mittens. I think I will rework this kind of pattern that I wrote up for these for some different things. I love having this kind of pattern on the palm and the stripes on the thumb, but maybe something other than a tree, and kind of work off this basic recipe I put together because this was a ton of fun. I think I'd love to maybe do some embroidery on this. Um, I think that would be really cute, but that's for another day. So those are my self-drafted colorwork mittens, and they turned out honestly really good. And I love the felting process. Love having felted mittens. These are actually my mom's, but I borrow them sometimes. So yeah, super fun. Again, Cascade 220. This was my first time working with Cascade 220, both for the first pair of mittens, which I'll try to put a picture up of if I didn't already say, and also for these. And it was super nice to work with just in general, but then also felted beautifully. So I would definitely use Cascade 220 again for mittens, but also I would consider using it in some like color work project in the future, like hat or a sweater maybe. It's not maybe the softest for, I'm sensitive. Oh, sorry, I just touched my microphone. I definitely have sensitive skin, and so Cascade 220 might be a little too rustic for me, like straight on the skin. But like with this sweater, I've just got a little mock neck turtleneck on underneath, and I can wear it all day, and it's fine. So for the quality and the price point of the yarn, to have a really nice colorwork sweater, would definitely consider doing that, just wearing a mock neck underneath. Which, by the way, forgot to mention, I'm just wearing my novice sweater. I've worn it before in podcasts, so I won't really talk about it. All right, moving on to my next FO so that this video isn't maybe like an hour long. So those were 2 mittens, and then I made a pair of socks. These have been worn to death, so like they're already they're not really camera ready, but I'm too lazy to like wash and block them just for a podcast. So the Hibernal DK socks by Summer Lee. These turned out so fun. These are a DK weight, and this is my first time knitting a DK weight sock, and it's got words and things, a strand of fingering and a strand of mohair, and they are so fuzzy and squishy and just absolutely magnificent. I'm obsessed. I wear them constantly. It's been cold here. And the pattern was fantastic. I'm a huge stan of Summer Lee. I would buy pretty much any of her patterns. They're very well written. And this is just a delicious, scrumptious, wonderful sock recipe. I will make another pair. Like anytime I have mohair and fingering, like if I have scraps of mohair, I'll do like a scrappy one maybe. Yeah, just really obsessed with them. Was super quick. You could easily knit the pair in like a day or two. Like I've never made DK weight socks before, and I get it now. Like they are so fast, so much fun. Had an absolute ball. Forgot to mention the yarn. I used Drops yarn, so this was Drops Nord, I believe, and Drops Kid Silk. So it was a very affordable knit too, even though it was mohair. I did, however, this was frustrating. So these were knit cuff down and with a heel flap and gusset, and I haven't done a heel flap and gusset in a while, and it was like so much better this time around. Like really enjoyed it. We'll throw some more heel flap and gussets into my sock knitting regime. But so I got to like maybe here on my second sock and ran out of mohair. So that's on me for like not weighing and like kind of thinking that out. I thought per like the yardage I'd be fine with one skein. But so if you plan to knit these and you want to use the drops or you have drops, just be aware if you do the full length of the leg and you have approximately a size US 10 women's foot, you will run out of mohair. So there's that. And then I really don't think I have too much else to say about that. I love it. They're fabulous. I will knit more of them, or at least just her. She has a vanilla DK sock recipe, and I think I'll just knit some just squishy DK socks to have kind of as house socks. They've basically been my slippers. It's been wonderful. And then my last FO is just this super simple hat that I knit with this gorgeous alpaca yarn that my friend Teresa got me like last year for Christmas. And it's here, let me put it on for you guys. I love the color. It's such a me color. And it fits really well. I think I would have liked the brim just like half an inch longer, just like the tiniest bit longer. But other than that, I love it. It blocks beautifully. This was another free pattern on Ravelry, I believe. It's called like my baker's hat. All that will be down in the description. Yeah, I knit this in like 2 days. I just kind of spontaneously cast it on because I wasn't vibing with my current projects, and now I have a hat. It's alpaca, it's super warm, it's super soft. The crown of this, I really liked the decreases on this. Just very like even and smooth, really. Doesn't show a ton. I don't like the hats that just like really like poof up and are like square, or like, I know that's an aesthetic that like some people love, but that's just not for me. I don't love it. So I like that this was just kind of like round and smooth and kind of just really basic and simple. This was a great free hat pattern. Super simple. It does have the oh you can see I haven't woven in my ends yet. It has the like pearl round that makes it easy to fold. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. Like it is nice that it folds easily, but also like you could block it to fold how you want and then you could always change your mind. Like if I hadn't done that, I could like pull it down a little and have a little bit of length, but because of that like purl row, you kind of don't get that option. So mixed feelings on that. For functional reasons. For aesthetic reasons, it's great. And I like the hat. This was a great quick knit. I would easily do this as a gift knit if I ever needed a quick hat gift knit. Yeah, and this was, I believe, a worsted weight yarn. So those are all of my FOs. And we're only like 10 minutes in, guys. I'm either talking at the speed of light or I'm actually just making good time, and this won't be an obnoxiously long video. Okay, those are all of my FOs. Let's get into whips. I have 6 whips, and only one of them you've seen before. So let's start off with Cargill. That's the one you guys know. I have made fantastic progress. I'm so excited. This sweater is stunning. I'm obsessed. She's all wrinkled because she's been shoved in a bag, but like the body is almost done. Let me bring her closer. You can see this scrumptious texture. Yeah, so she's knitting up so quickly. I'm in love with this pattern. The beginning was a little rough, but once you're in the round, easy peasy. It's a 4-row repeat. You don't even need to look like at the pattern whatsoever, like especially once you split for sleeves. And it's so squishy. This drop stitch gives it just this delicious, squishy, cozy, like, ugh. Yes, I'm so excited to have this done. Remember when I thought maybe I could finish it in time for Christmas? Yeah. Needless to say, that didn't happen. But I feel like I will hopefully get it done before the end of winter here. And if not, it'll be ready to go for me next winter. And I'm super excited about it. Again, I am using Drops Daisy for this in colorway 10. It's this really pretty, like icy blue. So yeah, making fantastic progress. I'm about ready to finish the body. I think I'm going to do twisted rib. I don't think that's in the pattern, but my 1x1 ribbing that's not twisted does not look that neat. So I'm going to do some twisted rib for some neater ribbing. I need to pick up stitches for the neckline here though, and I think I'm going to do that before I finish the body because that'll just kind of change and pull things a little bit. And I do not want a cropped sweater. The last sweater that I knit, the sorbet sweater, is cropped, and I was like, let's get out of my comfort zone. We'll leave it cropped, like maybe I'll wear it with skirts and stuff. I have not worn it outside the house because anytime I try to put it on with an outfit, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not a cropped sweater girly. So I'm going to make sure this is nice and long, cozy, comfy, oversized, like no crop sweaters here for this one. So going to pick up the collar here soon, and then finish the body, and then I'll just be on Sleeve Island. So yes, this is going splendidly. Loving the pattern now. Like I said, just be aware that like the beginning is definitely a little questionable, especially if you're more of a beginner knitter. There's a lot of like assumed knowledge, I feel like. But I did also just hear that Rebecca from Crayabea is like revamping some of her older patterns. And the Cargill is either her first released pattern or like one of her first released. And she's talked about like going back and like revising and clarifying and things like that. So that's really exciting to know that she's like thinking about and doing that she's like improved as a designer and is now like, oh, I can make those better. I love seeing that. And I have a couple of other patterns from here that I've purchased that I'm really excited to make, like the Staffen. I'm going to do the V-neck cardigan version. Not anytime soon because I have some other things like in queue first. But anyways, that's Cargill. It's going well. Can't wait to finish it and wear it. Can't wait to be able to wear it on a podcast episode. So excited. So now the reason I have not made more progress or finished my Cargill is because I did a New Year's Day knit along cast on with my local yarn store, and it's for the Festival of Stiches Shawl by, can't remember the designer's name, but I'm almost done. So this is the center, And then we've got this like flowery lace section. We've got some mosaic knitting. We've got this gorgeous but like god awful cabling to knit. Like so beautiful, but wouldn't want to do a sweater in it. A little more kind of lacy texture, and then just some ribbing at the end. This has been so much fun. I'm in the cabling section on the other side, and I don't know if you noticed, but the colors kind of crisscross. So here the mosaic is white squares, dark outside. Here it's dark squares, white outside. Cabling on the side's white, cabling on the side's navy. I think that's really fun. Yeah, so this has been taking up quite a bit of my time. And technically, actually, the knit along ends this Sunday. I'm filming this on a Wednesday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish in time. There's a lot of school stuff going on this week. So if I can finish, I would love that. But if I do finish it, I don't think it'll be like blocked and ends woven in kind of finished, but you know, we'll take it for what it is. Yeah, this has been an absolute blast. I have been using Plies and Hellhounds and Trilogy yarns for this. The navy and this like gorgeous mermaidy lagoon tealy turquoisey shade is Plies and Hellhounds. They did a trunk show at my local yarn store, so I was finally able to squish their yarn, and I had some points at my yarn store, and so I treated myself to some of these skeins for this shawl, and it's just working up beautifully. I'm loving it. I'm obsessed. I highly recommend this pattern. Her pattern is so well organized, detailed. There's written instruction, there's charted instructions, there's tips and tricks. There's like, I would gladly knit another one of this designer's patterns. I want like the name's like Mahila. I'll put it down in the description, or I'll stick it up here. She has a ton of stunning shawls and scarves and stuff, and I've definitely like saved a couple in my Ravelry because I would love to knit some other patterns by her. And I also really want to, I think I'm going to be like a shawl girly. I've really enjoyed this, and I am really enjoying accessory knitting. As much as I love a garment, accessories are a little easier for me to like grab and add to an outfit. So I have some hand knit pieces in my outfit, but it just makes it a little easier to throw something on. I'm definitely a layers girl, so I like the idea of just being able to like, you know, throw something on gorgeous and handmade, but like, you know, it doesn't have to be a garment. This was my first time doing mosaic knitting, and I loved it. It's like so easy, actually. Like, truly, if you ever wanted to do mosaic knitting and were intimidated, please don't be. Buy the pattern, try it. Like, you've got this. This makes me kind of want to knit the like pressed flowers cardigan, or at least look for some other mosaic knitting garments. I don't love like the backside, so like for the sake of this, like as a shawl, like this is definitely a one-sided shawl. So for that reason, it's not my favorite for something like this maybe, but something that's a garment where that backside won't show, like yeah, definitely. And even on this, like it's not that big a deal. It's just not the pretty side, right? This cabling portion, let me give you an up close view of these cables because they are stunning. I don't know if you're really gonna be able to see them with this dark yarn. Yeah, the cables are stunning, but they were an absolute beast to knit. This project got like put in the timeout corner for a solid 2 weeks when I hit the cable section. This is like a kind of 4-row, it's 8-row repeat, but it's kind of anyways. Every like 4 rows, you have to cable literally every single stitch across in 2x2. It like every minus the edges, you know, where some stuff happens, but like you're cabling every single stitch across. And I was like in fingering weight yarn on little needles. We were not having fun. But once I actually like saw the cables, like saw what the work was providing, I was like, okay, I can like bite the bullet and finish this. But if the cables weren't pretty, I probably would have just like thrown this project in the fire. That's how much I despised actually knitting the cable portion. Yeah, luckily I was able to knit without a cable needle. Again, we were just doing 2x2, so it was easy to just do that cabling without a cable needle on this. If I had to use a cable needle to do that, oh Lord, no. No, ma'am, absolutely not. So that is the Festival of Stitches shawl. Weaving in the ends on this is going to be a beast. Not looking forward to that. I'm kind of in denial about it, to be honest, but we'll get her done because she's beautiful and I want to wear it. And I think that's really everything I had to say about that. If you have questions about it, drop it in the comments. Oh wait, you know what? I have the pattern right here, so that should have the designer's name on it because it's kind of driving me nuts that I can't remember. The designer's name is Lisa Hands, but that's not her Ravelry name. So, anyways, Lisa Hands is the designer name, but not her Ravelry name. Festival of Stitches shawl. And I'm almost done with it. And like, this is my first time showing you guys, so that's a little wild. But that's been super fun. And hopefully maybe next time you see me, I'll be wearing it. That would be exciting. All right. Everything else is new cast-ons since I've seen you last. So let's start with the socks. I have 2 new sock cast-ons, and I know what you're thinking. Rachel, didn't you have 3 lonely sock projects prior to Christmas? Yes. Yes, I did. Don't you need to finish those maybe before starting new cast-ons? Yes, I should. But I didn't. So these are my New Year's Eve cast-on. So I had a New Year's Eve cast-on and a New Year's Day cast-on. And this is with this stunning self-striping yarn. This was a splurt, like just a random like purchase. I was on Etsy and I saw this self-striping yarn, or maybe it was Instagram where I saw them, but it's Nomadic Yarns. And this is one of their Pride and Prejudice colorways, are the shades of Pemberley thus to be polluted. Pride and Prejudice is probably my all-time favorite movie. Like, I watch it, I don't even know how many times a year. It's my go-to comfort movie. So the name of the yarn alone like made me purchase it. And then on top of it, it was beautiful and also not my usual colors. Like browns and stuff aren't, and I like green, but I'm definitely more of like a blue. I'm gonna go much more towards like ocean colors. So this was like out of my normal like color choice, which was nice. I'm trying to variegate my color options in my hand knit wardrobe. So I did this cuff down, toe up, with a forethought heel, and the toe, heel, and cuff is just Knit Picks Stroll in a brown color. I don't know the name. And I am super impressed with this self-striping yarn. I thought there'd be kind of some like stark changes between the different colors, and it is so seamless. Like, I don't know if you guys can really see like the color changes are seamless. It is just like stunning. I am super impressed. I will definitely buy more of her self-striping yarn. And this is in her Brit sock, which is a BFL base. I love BFL, especially in socks. It's just, I feel like a little more hard wearing. And like my feet are not that sensitive. So if it's not the softest thing on my feet, that's not a problem. But I also think that BFL softens up like fantastically with washing. So that was my New Year's Eve cast on. And I have not cast on the second one, but it is in this super cute bag that I sewed, another sock bag with these cute little oxalots. Yeah, so that's been fun. My other sock project that I spontaneously cast on is this cute Valentine's Day pinky sock. And these are both just vanilla socks, no recipe. Like, it's my own recipe that I've kind of found that I like. I'm not following a pattern. And this was for the people. So on my TikTok, some people had asked for a sock knitting tutorial, and so I knit this sock as part of the tutorial over there on TikTok. You can go check it out if you like. So that's why I knit this, and it was right before Valentine's Day, so I was like, let's do some cute pink colors, because of course that made more sense than just casting on the second pair of my self-striping sock. But I thought the brown would be hard to see on camera, and I wasn't sure about the self-striping, and so we just went with this. This really fun speckly color is actually I got from Joann's, which is closing, sad. It was the K&C brand. I just saw it like one time and it was like, oh, like they actually have sock yarn. And grabbed it, and it's been really fun to knit with. We'll see how it wears, but I don't think it's something we'll be able to get again. So, and then the cuff, heel, and toe is knit pick stroll. And then these were cuff down with a forethought heel. So that was that. And another cute little sock bag that I made. I think that's really all I have to say about the socks. I am not letting myself cast on any more socks until I finish all 5 of my current sock webs. So the ones that have been hibernating are my polka dot socks by Summerlee and my shrimp socks by Stone Knits, and then just a vanilla pair of socks in this fun like mermaidy colored yarn that I attempted to do some color work on the cuff that didn't work out. So I've got 3 pairs of vanilla socks, 2 colorwork socks. That should be plenty to keep me busy and sustained in my sock knitting mojo. So I'm not allowed to cast on any more socks until I finish these. Hopefully this will make me stick to that. All right, 2 more projects, guys. So this one is my first Musselburgh hat, which I'm so excited about. And I've got a decent amount of project there. I'm maybe at like the halfway point, or maybe just past. I haven't measured it in a while. But I'm really loving how this yarn is working up. It's like, it's not pooling in any spot. It's like the perfect, like, yeah, I just love how it's looking. This is Sweet Tea Yarns, and I believe the colorway was Mermaid or Mermaid Lagoon, Mermaid Mist. I think that's it. So this was my first Musselburgh hat. I get it, guys. Like, I get it. This has been super fun. The cast on is definitely like the most challenging thing. But once you do it a couple times, I feel like it gets so much easier and like it'll get a little bit tighter. I'll show you what it looks like. So it's not the absolute like neatest, but it's also like I'm not mad about it. And like, I don't know, will you guys be able to see that? The light in here is a little weird. So I did the like crochet cast on that Nitty Natty has posted here on YouTube, and that was super helpful because I crochet as well. So that was a lot easier for me to do than try to cast this on like Magic Loop or DPNs. So I did the crochet cast on, moved it over to Magic Loop, and used Magic Loop until I was done doing the increases, and then I switched to my little 16-inch. I believe these are 16-inch, just in the round Chigus. These are my, yes, this is part of my interchangeable set. I have these cute little hat stitch stoppers too, which I thought were fun. This is a delightful stockinette in the round project. This is great for like fun single skeins from trips and stuff like that. Like I love to buy fingering weight single skeins for socks, but like I've got a lot of sock projects planned. I've got a lot of yarn for socks. I'm like, I need to find something else I can knit with this yarn. And so I really love this. And we'll definitely knit more in the future. And I cast this on right before Christmas on our road trip to the Oregon coast. It's about a 9-hour drive. I got to be passenger princess, and so I cast this on, and I got a good bit done. But I get car sick, so I've had trouble before knitting while in car rides, especially long ones. And so I got these absolutely like obnoxious looking like seasick glasses. I'll put a little picture so you guys know what I'm talking about if you don't. They look ridiculous. They're like circles and they've got fluid in them, but it's supposed to keep like, I don't know, it does something to trick your eyes to like make you not nauseous while you're like looking while moving. And it worked. I knit for like the entire trip. It was so nice to not get car sick for once on a long car ride. So that was really fun. And because this is a mermaid themed kind of project, my friend Ashley gave me these sock project bags for my birthday that she sewed, and they're like little mermaid cats, super cute. I thought it was a perfect bag for a little mermaid themed hat project. So that is my Musselburgh. Loving it. I only have one more whip to show you guys, and we're 30 minutes in. This is great. All right, my last whip was a spontaneous cast on last week because all of my projects were at like fiddly bits. Like I need to like pick up stitches for the collar of my Cargill. I was in the middle of cabling on my shawl. I had to put in the heel on my sock, and then I had to like weave in ends and stuff on my other sock. And I was like, no. So, and I had actually kind of forgotten that I had the Musselburgh whip, because that would have been a perfectly acceptable project to work on for a mindless like stuck net. But I forgot about it. So instead, I cast on the Simple Thing, which is very similar to like the Sophie shawl scarf situation. But it's a free pattern, and I'm doing the like a shawl length width yarn down. And this super fun, gorgeous, again, mermaidy yarn. Maybe you're seeing a pattern here. This is a merino. This is actually from again, Joann's. I found this the KNC brand, and it's 100% merino. Super fun colors, and I got it for like on some weird sale one time for like $5 a skein. And it's been sitting in my stash, and I have 2 skeins of it, and I like didn't know what to do with it. I just bought it because it was pretty, and it was merino, and for that price, I was like, oh. So I decided to cast on the Sophie shawl, not officially, right? I'm doing the Simple Thing. And instead of the Simple Thing is free pattern, and I believe it calls for increase every four rounds. But I'm doing every 6, and I just think that's a like better increase rate for me. And then I stopped increasing right here where this stitch marker is. And I'm just gonna knit because I like the width of this. And so now I'm just gonna knit until I finish this first skein of yarn. I'm actually gonna maybe leave like 2 grams, and then start like the second half of the scarf. Like put a marker in, that's half. Do the second half, just so I have like a little wiggle room for like weaving in ends or whatever. I don't want to get to the other end of the scarf and like not have enough yarn, right? So I weighed both skeins. This one is 100 grams. The other one was 101. So I'm starting with this one. So there's already like 1 extra gram on that side. And then I think I'll like do 1 or 2 grams, like start the second half with still a little bit left of this one just to make sure. But yeah, this has been super fun. This is so easy. This is garter stitch. I've never done a garter stitch project before. I don't love the look of garter stitch, but the squish factor is delightful. I think this is going to be a fantastic scarf. It's super soft. Yeah, love. There is this funny little section where the length of the scarf got weird enough that it started doing color pooling instead of like this nice like evenly variegated, which isn't like my favorite, but like I'm not ripping back. It's a scarf. It's going to be cute. Nobody else is going to notice it realistically. Maybe another knitter would, but even then, are they really going to say something? So, Simple Thing, knitting it as like a mock Sophie shawl. This is a DK weight yarn though. And I'm knitting it on, I think I'm knitting it on bigger needles than it said. Let me check. Yeah, so I'm knitting on 5mm needles. I want to say the pattern suggests 4 or 4.5. So yeah, those are all of my whips, guys. So I've been up to a lot since I've seen you. I'm not going to go over acquisitions just because there was a lot over like Christmas holiday season, and I had a couple like treat yourself days, and there's just like I don't even know where all of it is, and I just yeah. So we're gonna kind of skip that section today, and so then that is really all I have for you guys. I'm astounded that like my first episode back, and we're at like 35 minutes right now before editing, which I think is good. I feel like that's a pretty solid podcast length. So that 30 to 45 minute range is usually what I try to hit. So if you're still here, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sticking around in my absence. I will hopefully, like I said, life's been a little crazy with school. And so I would ideally love to do like monthly podcasts. I was previously kind of doing like every 2 weeks, but like that's just not realistic right now. But you very well may not see me until after graduation. So hopefully that's not the case. But like if that happens, don't be surprised. Um, and yeah, thank you for being here. And I'll see you guys next time.